will impact our patients. We will fail. And that's what this is about. So to us, we're really looking for the industry to get together around this and start to standardize on these principles that we have put in place. And to actually be partners with us in sharing these expertises. Because it is about sharing and learning. And it is about continuous improvement. If we talk and extrapolate back to what this whole message tonight has been about, this is a path and a journey to continuous improvement and bettering your business and growing that business. And there are huge opportunities and benefits that we get out of it. And that's the key payoff. Because we will be more profitable. It'll allow us to serve more patients. And it'll allow us to be who we're supposed to be. A premier industry with a reputation around health. And that's the key thing. So to us, it really is about coming together. Now, big part of what we ask for as PSCI, we have a kind of philosophy. It's trust but verify. And part of that trust and verify is we have an audit process. So when you look at PSCI, there's really, four work streams. We have governance so that we get it right. We have communications so that we message right. But the big parts that where the real work happens is capability building and auditing. We have an audit work stream and we have a capability building work stream. And, capability is where we share. We teach each other, we learn, and we kind of improve. Auditing is the work stream where we've developed tools and practices so that we can actually verify that everyone is doing it the right way. So the big ask from PSCI is that the companies we work with get behind this and really start to participate and be active in the capacity building. Now, just so happens in May 8th and through the 11th, we're going to have a big capacity building right here in Hyderabad with Novartis is actually going to host us at their knowledge center. So they gave the facilities pro bono, and the instructors will be coming in from all around the world for 4 solid days. And we'll do everything from reactive chemistry, layer protection analysis, to understanding the AMR issues with pi discharge, and so on. And I didn't want to go down any of those rabbit holes tonight because we could talk for hours about each one of those. But the key is to participate first in these capability building sessions. And then we're really looking for companies who partner with PSCI and supply to the PSCI members to start to actually publicly start to commit to the PSCI message. And the first step towards committing is actually getting yourself self-audited. Now, to that end, we're also doing some additional capability building, which is not on my slide. Next week, we'll spend 2 days at the Hyderabad Marriott with 66 participants registered from 10 different audit companies locally, in country, and we'll be training and certifying their auditors. The reason we're doing that is because most of our suppliers in India will receive a letter within a month asking you to self-audit, to go out and audit your own program, but use a certified auditor, someone who is competent, has been trained, and understands the expectations. The bar's been set. We all have to step up. Our reputation is too important, and what we do is even more important, because it's not just, we all need to demonstrate a strong environmental performance. It's an expectation today. Your kids, when I close my eyes, when he did that little test earlier, I thought of my kids. When Ingrid taught, when Juan taught, everybody talked about the future. The future is for the children. And we have to do the right thing. But also, we have to save our businesses and deliver what we do best. And that's great products to patients all over the world. So I wanted to keep it short, catch us up, because I'm not going to be the one who's late for cocktails. So, thank you.
Yes, questions? Thanks, Stephen. We can certainly have your questions.
Any questions about PSCI, our capability committee, or any of the work we're doing? Because two of our participants, Birgit is here, and Shelley, and both are very familiar with both of those work streams. Yeah.
Will this be end-to-end, Steve?
What's that?
When you talk about the supply chain initiative, will this be end-to-end, like from where you start up?
So that's a great question, because today it is not truly end-to-end. I think, and that's part of the expectation, right? The reason it's not end-to-end is the bandwidth, right? We do not have the capacity, as most companies, and I'll speak for Pfizer first, right? About, 285 strategic supplier partners, about 500 key suppliers, 5,500 direct material, and starting to this, you know what I mean? And then after that, if we go into the incipient list and the component list, I printed out the supply map for the Prevnar vaccine, the one I mentioned, and global components, everything. I get 12,000 line items, right? You guys know how complex our business is, right? And I'm talking everything from every label, package, printer, all over in every market in 148 countries it's registered in. It gets complex. We don't have the depth and the bandwidth to investigate the print shop, to investigate the garment supplier, the person who made the booties coming out of Mexico. You have to pick and choose your risk. It's a risk business. Part of this will evolve, because as we grow, we are looking for your participation in PSCI. The expectation when you join is you will audit your auditor, your suppliers. One day you will ask your suppliers to join, and they will audit their suppliers. And we actually will have a movement in this area. And that's the only way. Can we all go out and do this? No. But some of our members, many of you have participated with them, they audit thousands, especially with this labor issues now. And, many of our companies who sell in the UK market, in California, have to go public and are now forced to do labor audits in the second tiers, and that's a bigger issue, and will open up a lot more concerns. So,
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mic.
Steve, you said next week there is a a training program for the auditors, audit companies,
Audit companies.
but not for the companies. Like suppose if we want to send our own internal QA people,
Right. So
is there a program?
that we have a program for, as you know, we've run 2 conferences in India, and 2 in China, and we will have another conference here in India during the week of May 8th. And that'll be 4 intense days. And based on the actual feedback from previous attendees, it's actually, the title I think is called Going in a Deeper Dive. So it's going to be providing much more technical level training. So where guys want to really understand, how to design the basis of safety for reactive chemistry. How do I actually has up, those thermal steps? How do I do calorimetry, vent size calculation? Who do I go to? So, we'll be doing that deeper training for our suppliers during the week of May 8th. But this was a very special thing we wanted to do, where we wanted to have third-party capability so that if we made recommendation to, say, you as a supplier, to go and get audited, we would have someone that we have trained and we're going to test them to send to say, this guy, Joe, is a good auditor. He's been through it with us, we've seen it, and we're happy to recommend him. Because so far, we have not been happy recommending people because we've gotten some poor results.
So with those audits, we want to create value for you. We don't want to waste your precious time, because we know that your focus is on producing our products, What we want to do is have high quality auditors that also, kind of consult you. They will show you your weaknesses, they will show you your strength. And this can only be done if you really have people who know the business, who know how to audit, but also know the API business. And that's why we said we're not satisfied with the results as we have now, because I can tell you, I check each and every audit report I get. And I've seen deficiencies with regard to finding observations. I've seen deficiencies that some things were not really discovered, really. We have also gotten some feedback from our suppliers that they said, well, not the 100% story was told. So taking these things seriously into account, we decided to have this auditor capability building, because the audit should create value for you, and not just a waste of time. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Justi, you wanted to add to that as well. Yes.
What we have faced, because we are, since 2013, we are involved, we are committed to this PCI, and the auditors, what you're doing is a great job, because the auditors that are coming are not well versed with the conditions that are existing and all the knowledge of the industry also. I think that is the one thing which we need to take care of, because sending somebody who has audited some electronic industry coming and auditing us for the pharmaceutical is going to be a big problem, because we could not explain to him properly. He's going to have a checks and balances. I think, yes, that's why it's a great initiative. So we also want to have our guys also to be trained in that eventually.
Absolutely. And I think we're right on track for that. So, great.
Okay, so are there any more questions? Well, with this, we'll thank you, Stephen, once again, and it's really very inspiring to see your commitment and vision for PSEI. Thank you. May I request with us Mr. P.S.R.K. Prasad, who's the Executive VP Corporate Engineering, NATCO Pharma, to kindly felicitate our speaker, Mr. Stephen Meszaros. And I will also take this moment to acknowledge NATCO Pharma has always been our strong supporter for all our pharma green chemistry initiatives It's been the first corporate always to come forward and support our NGO. Thank you, sir.